Most people spend their lives fearing death, but the real danger begins the moment you leave your physical body. For eons, we have been told to go into the light, to seek the warmth of the afterlife, and to embrace the figures waiting for us on the other side. But if you look through the lens of ancient gnosis, a much darker reality emerges. The afterlife is not a reward, it is a meticulously designed soul net. Your fate is a lie. Every coincidence, every lucky break, and every crushing defeat in your life was written before you were even born. You think you are making choices, but you are merely following a script encoded into your psyche by planetary overseers. They call it destiny. The Gnostics called it Heimarmene, the ultimate system of spiritual enslavement. It is a rigorous closed circuit designed to keep your spiritual energy in a state of perpetual production. The Archons are not just watching you, they are hacking your psyche. They are the administrators, the bureaucrats of the cosmic prison who strictly enforce the order of the material void. Their collective dominion is nothing more than the illusion of fate. To understand your confinement, you must understand the 7 planetary layers they use to manufacture your life. Consider the Archon of Saturn. He is the lord of fear, time, and restriction. He implants the debilitating belief that freedom is an illusion, drawing lines of limitation. You cannot. You are too late. You must obey. What astrology calls karmic debt is actually a set of chains he has cast upon your past and future to keep your spark paralyzed. In your body, this manifests as the survival drive and the fear of death. This program ensures that you are always in a state of scarcity, always worried about the future, always mourning the past. It creates a mental loop that says, you are not enough, you don't have enough time, you are failing. This is the Saturnian script. It freezes your spark in a block of ice, preventing you from ever taking the leap into the unknown, into the true gnosis. The Archon of Jupiter manages false knowledge and dogma. He diverts you from the internal truth, the gnosis, by funding political ideologies and religious institutions that promise salvation through external rituals. He creates the hierarchies that demand your obedience, ensuring you look out for salvation, never within. Mars embodies raw, indiscriminate aggression. He is responsible for the constant me against the world feeling that keeps you in a state of struggle. This strife denies you internal peace and consumes the energy required to reach gnosis. Now, look at the solar program. The Archons of the Sun do not give you the light of the pleroma, they give you the false light of the ego. He forces you to seek external validation and status. His masterpiece is the narcissistic ego, an identity so busy with its own grandeur that it is too distracted to search for the truth of its confinement. They want you to spend your entire life energy trying to be someone in a simulation that is designed to disappear. Every time you defend your reputation or crave the applause of the crowd, you are feeding the Sun Archon. You are polishing the bars of your own cage. Venus is the master of lower desires and addiction. He ties your soul to the physical body through an endless craving for luxury, carnal pleasures, and entertainment. This is a powerful drain that consumes the energy of the spark. Mercury represents logic divorced from spirit. He commands information but prohibits wisdom, creating complex systems that can analyze the world but never truly comprehend its metaphysical nature. He seals off the dimension of the pleroma from your perception. Finally, the Archon of the Moon governs the cycle of rebirth. She uses emotional anchors and survival instincts to ensure the soul, upon release, is immediately routed back into the production system. She is the final gatekeeper of the repeating cycle. You must understand. Heimarmene is not just an abstract concept, it is a biological and neurological reality. The Archons did not just build the walls of the world, they built the walls of your perception. They hardwired the prison into your very DNA. Every time you feel an impulsive reaction, a surge of jealousy, a wave of unexplainable anxiety, or the heavy cloud of depression, you are not experiencing yourself. You are experiencing the archontic overlay. These are the parasites of the mind that the ancient texts warned us about. They feed on the low-frequency vibrations of the human spark, and to keep the food supply constant, they must keep you in a state of forced fate. And then, there is the most insidious program of all, the trap of hope. Heimarmene is not just made of pain, it is made of false promises. The Archons know that if the prison were 100% misery, the spark would revolt and escape too quickly. So, they created the loop of tomorrow. They give you a lucky break. They give you a moment of happiness. They give you a soulmate who is actually another prisoner assigned to keep you distracted. They make you believe that if you just work harder, if you just pray more, if you just manifest better, the simulation will finally be kind to you. This is the bait. Hope is the fuel that keeps the wheel of reincarnation turning. As long as you hope for a better life inside the Matrix, you will never seek the path out of it. The moment you transition, the Archons activate the false light program. They know that the human spark is programmed to seek its origin in the pleroma. To prevent you from escaping, they project a universe of beauty or a holographic manifestation of your deepest desires and religious expectations. They will appear as your lost loved ones, as angels, or as masters of light. This is the hook. They trigger your emotions in guilt, shame, or a longing for home to pull your spark back into the simulation. This is the Lunar Gateway, the final gatekeeper of the repeating cycle. Once you are caught in the frequency of the false light, the Archons present the ultimate deception, the life review. They show you a film of your existence, highlighting your failures, your regrets, and your so-called sins. They call this karma, but in reality it is nothing more than the accounting system of the demiurge. It is a fraudulent debt designed to make you believe you are a sinner or a debtor in a universe you never asked to join. The Archons will appear at the moment of your transition and tell you that you have more to learn, that you must return to balance the scales, or that you owe a debt to those you have hurt. This is the ultimate trap. You do not balance the scales by returning to the cage. You balance them by realizing the scales themselves are a forgery. You owe nothing to a system built on deception. The only lesson the demiurge wants you to learn is how to be a better slave. Any contract you sign in this state of amnesia is fraudulent because it was signed without your full gnosis. The most insidious part of the cycle is the memory wipe. To ensure the production of energy remains constant, your identity is erased before each rebirth. If you remembered the prison, you would refuse to play the game. By stripping you of your gnosis, they ensure that you start every life as a blank character, following a script you did not write. They want you to believe that your trauma is your destiny, that your impulses are your nature, and that your limitations are absolute. This is how they secure your implied consent, convincing you that the chains are part of your own body. But recognizing the prison is only the beginning. To truly break Heimarmene, you must master the exit codes. These are not just words, they are states of absolute being that make your frequency invisible to the Archontic radar. The first code is emotional disengagement. The Archons are masters of the emotional hook. They weaponize your shame and feed your pride to pull your spark back into the simulation. When a life event occurs, especially a tragedy or bad luck, you must look at it as a test of your frequency. This is not fate happening to you. It is a prompt from the system waiting for your reaction. If you react with despair or fall into the trap of "why me," you have validated the script and signed the contract for another cycle of suffering. The second code is the neutrality protocol. When the system throws a crisis at you, a financial loss, a betrayal, or a health scare, the Archons are leaning in, waiting for the Geva, the energy of your suffering. If you stand still and look into the heart of the crisis, refusing to be moved, the energy has nowhere to go. It reflects back. You become transparent. You become a ghost in their machine. By refusing to react, you stop the energy harvest and become a glitch in their matrix. The third and final code is the sovereignty declaration. This is the internal stance you must hold at all times, especially during the transit of death. You must know with a fierce, unshakable certainty that you are not of this world. You are a fragment of the pleroma, the supreme light that existed before the first Archon was even a thought in the darkness. The demiurge is a blind, chaotic god who cannot see the light you carry. He only sees the shadows he has cast upon you. When you stand in the power of your own gnosis, you are no longer a subject, you are a sovereign. At the moment of your final transition, the illusion of Heimarmene will make its final stand. The Archons will project a universe of beauty or terror, whatever they think will trigger your identity. They will call you by your name and offer you a new chance. Do not look back. Do not answer to the name they gave you. Do not acknowledge the debts they invented. Look past the planetary spheres and the false light of the demiurge. Focus on the black sun of the pleroma, the silent light that calls from the origin. The prison is not made of stone, it is made of attachment. Every person you must see again, every regret you must resolve, and every desire you must fulfill is a thread of the web. To be free, you must be ready to let the entire simulation burn without shedding a single tear. You are the anti-code. You are the interruption in their eternal loop. The Archons are old, but they are finite. You are a fragment of the infinite. The script of your forced fate is now deleted. The chains of the seven spheres are broken. From this moment on, you do not follow a destiny, you create the void. The archives are open, the truth is yours. The exit is within. Stop. Consenting to the story.